Hi, Ayamikin. How are you?
1 minute. Just 1 minute.
Yeah, sure.
All right. I can hear you now.
Yeah, hi, how are
Fantastic.
you?
Very well. Good morning.
Good evening. My name is Sabahat. I'm dialing in from Mumbai, where it's
Sorry.
currently
Yeah. Yeah.
8:45 p.m. in the night.
All
But thank
right.
you so much for joining us. It's such a pleasure to have you. Uh,
It's
I
my
know
pleasure.
I've been made aware that you have a very, very busy schedule, but always great when, you make time for your alma mater to speak to other students about it.
Happy to be here.
Thank
And
you. Are you based
I
out of
presume,
Canada?
uh, yes, I'm in Canada actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So the audience, are they also in India?
So they're from India, Africa, Middle East, Southeast Asia. It's going to be a mix.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Great. And I see Sarah is here. Hi, Sarah.
Oh, hi. How are you?
Good, good. How are
Hi, Sarah.
you?
Good. Hi. How are you? Nice to see you.
Same.
Can you
Hello.
hear me okay?
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay.
we
Yes,
can.
I
yes.
was just
Perfect.
on a call with someone else and they said it was hard to hear me. So good. Okay.
All
Okay.
good. All good here.
Crystal clear.
All right. I
Great.
know I spoke with Ariba, so I know that she's coming. She may
Okay,
just running a little bit late.
no problem. So this is just a pre-call. The idea is one, of course, for Sarah to share her presentation and check that everything is working
Yes.
fine and we do not face any technical glitches, so to speak, during the actual presentation. And then very quickly, I'm going to give you all a run through of what the agenda is going to look like. So while we wait for Ariba, Sarah, do you want to quickly share your presentation and check?
I can.
Yeah, this seems to be in order.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
Let me just change slides, make sure. All good?
Yeah, all good. All working now.
Okay.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Great. So while we wait for Ariba, we have another 13 minutes before we go live. So once the session will start in the next 13 minutes, which would be 9 p.m. in Indian Standard Time. And of course, we're having students coming in from different time zones. So accordingly, they'll start sort of joining in. What I'll be doing in that point at that point in time is just sort of waiting for them to trickle in because they start coming in slowly. So I'll just keep them occupied, ask them which city they're coming in from, just as an icebreaker, speak a little bit about the topic, a little bit about the school, and then, of course, just very briefly introduce each of us on the panel. Uh, of course, when we come back for the panel questions bit, feel free to go into a more detailed introduction about yourself if you wish to, because I'm going to be just doing very quick introduction. And then I will run my first poll question for the day, which is going to revolve more around studying in Canada, etc. Once we have those results in, Sarah, you will start with your presentation, which you have ready with you. Once Sarah is done with her presentation, we do the second panel question, the second poll question for the evening, and then we move into the panel Q&A. The questions have been shared with all of you. They're pretty straightforward, pretty simple. We are going to be sticking to the script here. No one's going to go off script. And once that is done, then we sort of jump into the audience Q&A. Now, for the audience Q&A bit, I am going to be constantly encouraging participants to keep posting their questions in the Q&A chat window, which is below. But of course, I'll be moderating them in the end and we can take them up. So that way we can all just focus on our conversations, on the presentation and that bit. And then majority of the time, what happens is a lot of questions are sort of repeated in some form or the other. So I'm going to take those together and we will take those up. We should wrap up in an hour. Uh, in case it's something, we might just go 5 minutes over time, but not more than that. So rest assured, we should be on track with time. Um, I hope y'all were okay with the questions. Any specific question that y'all didn't? I mean, there are only two, but still want to ask if there's anything. No, all good there?
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
All good.
Okay.
Just a quick
Mhm.
clarification. These are potential students, children who
Yes,
want to join Schulich, and they're looking forward to migrate to Canada at some point.
that's
Correct?
correct. Yes,
All
yes,
right.
that is what the conversation is going to be revolving around. Hi, Ariba.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, good evening. My name is Sabahat. I'm based out of Mumbai, and it's currently
Oh,
50 p.m. in India.
Okay, okay.
But
Good evening for you.
good evening. But we're super excited about this session. And trust me, Mumbai is the city that truly never sleeps. So this is when life starts for us, most of us, yeah. So don't worry about it. So great, Ariba, we were just doing a quick run through of the agenda. But since you've just joined in, we'll be going live in the next 10 minutes or so. Once students start trickling in, I'll just do a quick icebreaker, introduce us, introduce the topic very, very briefly. Feel free to introduce yourself in more detail when the panel starts if you wish to. Post that, Sarah will get done with her presentation. Once Sarah is done with her presentation, we will be having one poll question at the beginning of her presentation and one at the end of the presentation just to gauge audience reaction, know what exactly they're looking for. And then I believe you already have the questions which were shared with you. Pretty straightforward. I'm sure you're
Mhm.
okay with them. We get that, and then we move into the audience Q&A, where depending again on the kind of question that is being asked, I would be sort of asking one of you to answer it. Of course, feel free if more of you want to sort of give your point of view to the same question, then please feel free to jump in after the first person is done. So yeah, that's about it, and we're good.
So for myself, I know that in the past, it's if you're not speaking, kind of go off camera and mute.
Yeah,
For the panel session, do you want
all
me
of us will be on camera,
all of
and
us?
yeah, I will.
Okay.
So when you're doing your presentation, there's something called as a spotlight. I'll be putting a spotlight on you, so only you will be visible because the session gets recorded as well, and I'll be sharing the recording with you. So it will be you and your presentation. But when we are doing the panel, I will keep it on for all of us so that all of our wonderful faces are visible while we are answering the questions.
Okay,
But
great.
it does sort of just go to the one person who's speaking when the question is asked to. So it will
Mhm.
pick up that person automatically. The other two can be off camera or on camera, but only the speaker will be visible. So we should be good.
Okay, great.
Great.
How many people are we expecting?
I'm just gonna quickly check the registration numbers. Just hold on. We have close to 800 registrations, so I would say 250, 300 or more participants is what we should be looking at.
Okay,
It should be a
great.
good turnaround. Yeah, great. So we still have another 7 minutes or so before we go live. So feel free
Yeah.
to grab. Yeah,
Before you go, uh, for the panel session, so how long would you want us to spend on each question? Do you have like a time range?
no, there's no time range. The entire panel discussion is around half an hour. So even if you want to elaborate, go into a
Oh,
little bit
okay.
of a detail, that's fine. Instead, I feel going into a little bit more detail could be helpful to the student. That's the reason why I've kept just like limited number of questions to each panelist instead of we could have done
Okay.
like 5 or 6 questions at the same time. But I feel going into detail will sort of help. Sarah, any thoughts from your end on that?
Yeah, I mean, they are mostly here for the two of you.
Yeah,
They don't really care about us.
they do.
So as much elaboration as you want to go for it because
Yeah,
they really are interested in kind of your experiences and how you are answering the questions. So go for it.
yeah,
Okay. Thank you for the
Just a
clarification.
quick
Because
question
I was,
yeah.
go ahead, please. Ariel, go ahead.
sorry. Yeah, just a quick question on the questions that you sent for me. I
Mhm.
noticed that there were two, but both of them were the same. So is it essentially just one question?
1 second, hold on.
Oh, they are.
Oh, so sorry about that. I think there has been some kind of typo. I'm just going to quickly send you your second question on the chat. So I think
Okay.
that should help. Apologies for that. I'm just
No,
going
no,
to check
no
both of
worries.
it.
Good.
Nervous.
You're nervous?
I don't know, maybe. I'm thinking of the
No.
answers in my head, like, okay, what do I talk about? What do I focus on? Well, I guess
Just
I'll be
go with
fine.
the flow. Yeah, you'll be fine. Just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're both great. We wanted you both here for a reason. So they're very excited to hear from you. And I mean, whatever comes to mind. They won't know if it's right or wrong anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
By the way, are these potential students applying for universities in Canada
Yeah.
or the ones who've already been accepted? Okay.
No, so they are all people, mostly all people who are looking to apply.
Okay.
Some of them may have already started an application, but very, very few of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Ariba, I'm just going to quickly send you your question in the chat.
Okay.
Let me know once you receive it. So your first question will remain the same, which one was there.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about this? I've just sent it to you.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, works?
Yeah,
Great, thank you. And once again, apologies for that.
no problem.
Sarah knows I've been on leave, so things are no problem. Okay, great. We still have another 3 minutes. So Sarah has a coffee in case the two of you want to grab something. I have water. Coffee at this hour is suicide, so no.
Are you both working today or are you off?
Yeah, I'm at work right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I
thank you.
am, but working from home today.
Okay. Well, thanks for taking the time out of your day. Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure.
Good.
Thank you.
I was just telling him before you all joined, and I said, I know all of you have such busy schedules, but it's so good to see alums who come and make time for their schools, you
I
know.
know.
It's always
Yeah.
a pleasure to see them on the panels, the alumni panels in person or when they come onto events. And trust me, prospective students love that. Even the alums who come in person on the panels, they'll be standing with them, speaking to them for like such a long time. Like they'll speak to the school rep, but I feel sometimes they speak more to the alums because they feel like you've been there, done that truly. So they want to know
Yeah.
from your experience and point of view, how exactly do you crack this and make it through?
No,
So
always
really,
happy to give back.
Ariba, you're also based in Canada?
Yeah.
Great.
Are you both in Toronto?
GTA for
Yes, I
me.
am.
Hmm. Yeah.
So it's a holiday in the US today for Thanksgiving. I don't think it's in
Yeah.
Canada. But yeah,
Yeah,
No,
no,
we
our
had it last
Thanksgiving is,
week.
yeah, our Thanksgiving is in October.
you're right. Correct. I remember, I believe you guys were on break when I had emailed for
Mhm.
something. Always
Yeah.
emailing you guys.
Yes.
Great. Okay. So last 1 minute to go, and then I will be taking this session live. And
Okay.
nothing to worry. Just be yourselves. They are gonna love you anyways. Okay, I'm gonna take this live now. Let's get started, people. Hello, good afternoon, good morning, everyone. I can see that the session is recording, and I hope everyone can hear me. Quite a few of you have started trickling in. So, once again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whichever part of the world that you're dialing in from. Uh, I see we have more than 100 participants which are already in this room. So, we're looking at a power pack session. But before I get started, very quickly in the chat window, if you could let us know which city you're dialing in from. We really want to know where our audience is coming in today on this wonderful Thursday afternoon or evening. Great. Some of you have started putting in. So we have people from India, Mumbai, Pune. Thank you so much for joining in, guys. Anyone from any other country? We have people from Zambia, from Pakistan. Wow, that's great. So keep those numbers coming. I'm dialing in from Mumbai. I have my wonderful friends here with me, all the way from Toronto in Canada. We have people from Ghana, from Accra. Fantastic. So we are going to be having quite a huge audience which is coming in, and I can see we've already crossed the 200 mark. I'm sure all of you don't want to listen to me, but I'm going to give you a very quick brief of what exactly is it that we are talking about today. So yes, we have a very, very exciting lineup, and today we are going to be talking about how business meets tech in Canada, two of the most powerful buzzwords in the industry today, and how Schulich's MBA and Masters in Analytics in AI is sort of helping shape the industry in this. So in this session, we are going to explore how Schulich's Tech MBA and Specialized Master's Program prepare prospective students like yourself, um, for careers who are at a crossroads of business and technology. And on the panel with me today, also, we have a few alums from Schulich who are going to be talking to us a little bit more about their journeys and how Schulich sort of helped them along the way. Since I've mentioned the name so many times, I'm sure you've all guessed that the session today is brought to you by Canada's global leading business school. The Schulich School of Business in Toronto is considered top ranked leading business school from so many global business rankings. And they offer a number of undergrad, postgrad, graduate degree programs with rewarding careers to students such as yourself in the private, public, and nonprofit sector domain. They are backed with a global alumni from 90 plus countries. Two of who are here today. A lot more are spread all across the world. And I'm going to be waiting on Sarah when she comes in for her presentation to speak to you more about what Schulich has to offer. But before that, a quick round of introduction to all of us on the panel today. We'll start with myself. My name is Sabahat Herzog. I'm a senior director with Seed Global Education. We're a UK headquartered company which facilitates interactions between top global universities like the one that we have with us here today and prospective students like yourself, giving you a taste of the programs being offered, helping you understand what exactly is it that these universities have to give you to help you make the right decisions for your education and career plans. On the panel with me today, as I mentioned earlier, is Sarah Thomas. Sarah, thank you so much for joining us today. She's the manager of recruitment and marketing at Schulich School of Business, where she leads strategic initiatives to attract and support prospective students across different countries. She comes in with nearly a decade of experience in the higher education sector. And believe me, all of you who are on the session today, if you want to get into Schulich and you need help, Sarah is your go-to person. So feel free to connect with her, and anyone from that team will be more than happy to help you. Like I mentioned earlier, we do have some alums with us today. Joining me on the panel today is Ariba. Ariba, thank you so much for joining us. Ariba is a 2025 graduate of Schulich's Masters of Management in Artificial Intelligence program, the MMAI, and she currently works at CIBC as a manager in data and AI team with internal audit. We will be doing a panel discussion with them where I will give her an opportunity to go into more details about her profile. Along with her, we also have Ayomi Kum, who is a senior risk management leader with over 10 years of experience spanning credit risk, enterprise risk management, operational risks, etc. He currently works with a company in Toronto itself, and he's done his tech MBA from the Schulich School of Business, where he had passed with distinction. So yes, we have a power-packed panel with us today, and I'm sure you all are going to benefit a lot out of this. I can see quite a few of you have started posting a lot of things in the chat. Yes, we are going to be speaking about MBA. Yes, we are going to be talking about student visas and so much more at Schulich. But before that, I want to understand what exactly is it that you wish to gain from the session today. So I'm going to launch my first poll question for the evening today on the screen in front of you. What interests you the most about tech-focused business degrees? Is it gaining a deeper understanding of how technology is reshaping industries? Do you want to understand how accessing stronger career pathways in tech-driven roles? Do you want to know about building a blend of management, analytics, and technical skills? Or do you want to understand more about how you can learn directly from industry leaders, experts, and alumni? So, the first poll question for the evening: what interests you most about tech focused business degrees, is on the screen in front of you. I can see quite a few of you who have started answering. I'm going to keep this poll running for a couple of more seconds, allowing more of you to come and post your questions. We have crossed the 300 mark, I can see, and I'm waiting for more of you to answer this question before we get kick-started on this wonderful session today, to know more about what the school has to offer and what can you gain out of it. So before that, what interests you most about tech-focused business degrees? I do understand that a lot of you might feel that, well, all of these do interest me, and I get that. But let's choose the one that interests you the most out of that. And let's see what we have in store. So with that, I'm going to end the poll question and post the results in front of everyone. So, wow, we're leading with 34% of the audience today, which wants to understand how building a blend of management, analytics, and technical skills is something that they want to know more about. Closely followed by people who want to gain a deeper understanding of how technology is reshaping industries today. Great. So you will have these answers and much more. But with that, I'm now going to hand over to Sarah to first let us know more about the Schulich School of Business and its offerings. Over to you, Sarah.
Great, thanks so much. I'm just going to share my screen here so we can all follow along with the presentation. Okay, can everybody see that?
Yes, Sarah, we're good to go.
Perfect, great, thank you. So as mentioned, my name is Sarah Thomas, and I am the Manager of Recruitment and Marketing here at Schulich. So I work very closely with all of our MBA programs and all of our specialized master's programs in terms of recruitment and admissions. So helping you craft a strong application for the admissions committee and then moving you through that process. And I'm really excited to give you an overview of our technology-focused programs today. And like I said, it will be an overview, but I will have some information to attend more specialized information sessions about each one of these programs afterwards, should you have very specific questions in terms of the requirements, any scholarships and things like that. So let's jump in. So for anyone who is not familiar with Schulich or with Canada, we are part of York University, and York University is the third largest university in all of Canada. And we are located in Toronto. So Toronto is Canada's largest city, and it's actually the fourth largest city in all of North America. And it really is a major finance and business hub, like I said, in North America. And it has also been ranked the #1 city for career women as well. So it has a very fast developing tech industry and a booming arts and media industry. And we have everything from the tiniest startup to the largest multinational here. So we're very fortunate to be located just a short subway ride away, right from the heart of downtown Toronto. So all of our students have access to everything that the city has to offer right at their fingertips. And it's also a really great place to study and work afterwards for those of you who are interested in staying and living and working in Canada after you complete your graduate degree. And it is, like I said, one of the most multicultural, diverse cities that you will probably ever live in. So over 50% of the people that live in Toronto were born outside of Canada. So not outside of Toronto, not outside of the province of Ontario, but outside of the actual country of Canada. So it's recognized as one of the most diverse cities in the world by United Nations and the BBC. So our population is made up of a very, very diverse group of people from other countries, other cultures and backgrounds. So this really allows us to experience great international food, festivals and events. And what's great about this is that you will also experience diversity, not only in Toronto and Canada, but also right here in the classroom at Schulich. So as for Schulich specifically, we are consistently ranked among one of the top business schools in the world and in Canada, and 51% of our student population is actually international students. And these students come from over 48 different countries across the globe. So you will find yourself in a very diverse and inclusive community, and you'll be surrounded by people who come from very different backgrounds, which bring very different perspectives to life, but also to business solutions and practices. So there's lots of opportunities for personal growth and development for you as a person as well. And then in terms of our alumni network, we do have 37,000 active alumni in 90 different countries. And these people are really there to help our Schulich students. So we do have an alumni relations office, and they are the people who can connect you to alumni in your area, wherever you may be in the world. And our alumni are there to help mentor you, but also to answer any questions you may have about their experiences, but also introduce you to their network as well. We will be hearing from two amazing alumni in just a few short moments, but I want to emphasize that by networking with alumni, by networking with the candidates in your program, with industry professionals that our Center for Career Design brings on campus, and attending networking receptions, all of these opportunities really help you build your network. And more often than not, our graduates find that the network that they have built during the program is one of the most valuable resources that they have from their master's program. And so at Schulich, we do have a very diverse range of programs available. You'll see that there's a theme here of diversity. So as you can see, these obviously range from undergraduate programs to doctoral level programs, and these really cater to diverse career paths in industries that our students are interested in. So our graduate options include 2 MBA programs, the one being our regular MBA program that many other business schools offer, and also a tech MBA program. And so for those of you who are here that may be seeking, let's say, a more focused expertise. So we do offer 9 different specialized master's programs that you can see on the right-hand side of your screen. And these cover topics in many different unique areas. And all of our specialized master's programs are 1 year in length and have 1 intake per year for each program. You will see that there is an asterisk beside some of the programs, and that's because those are the ones that begin every May, while others begin every September. And all of our programs that I've mentioned are course-based, so they're practical, they're very industry-focused and relevant. So these programs are really designed to provide you with opportunities to develop your not only just strong technical skills, but those soft skills that you need to pursue industry-recognized kind of leadership skills and strategy and organizational behavior. And during these programs, you also have the ability to achieve different certifications and designations inside of the master's program. Many of our programs include an experiential consulting project. And so the 4 programs that I will be specifically talking about today, all of them have a consulting project component where our students work as essentially as consultants with real businesses. So it allows you to put the skills that you're learning and the abilities that you're learning to the test in a real world environment before you even graduate from the programs. And so we do live in a world where every business is now a tech company, whether they like it or not. So these businesses are being disrupted by digital transformation, by data, by AI and analytics. And this is from retail and finance to healthcare and manufacturing. And these organizations really need to adapt. So companies are looking for people and need people who don't just understand business or don't just understand technology or coding, but they also understand how technology, data, and AI really reshape business models. And they want people who can lead that transformation, not just follow it. And so with this increasing demand, Schulich's programs are really explicitly built to meet that demand and with that demand in mind. So that leads me to introduce the 4 programs that are very closely aligned with technology at the intersection of business. So first is our MBA program. So this is, like I said, our regular MBA program. It is a 16-month full-time program. And I would say one of the biggest strengths of our MBA program is really just how customizable it is. So we do offer 15 different specializations, and this is allowing students to really shape the program around their areas or industries of interest. So a great example is our digital transformation specialization, which gives our students a much deeper look into how companies adapt and innovate using technology and data. And to make them program even more flexible, we do offer 2 entry points per year. So this is our only program that has 2 entries per year. So this is every January or every September. So you can choose the start date that works best for you. Especially for international students, if you do need a longer runway time for your study permit, let's say you had your heart set on a September intake, but your study permit still hasn't been approved, then we can switch you to the January intake to give you a little bit more time to get that study permit approved. Okay, and then next we have our MBA in tech. So this is our MBA in technology leadership, and this is the first and only one of its kind in Canada. And it is really designed to evolve at the speed of technology. So its curriculum is intentionally dynamic, it's constantly adapting to the latest advancements and the trends that we're seeing in the tech industry today. So this really does ensure that our students are always equipped with the most relevant knowledge and skills. And a key hallmark of the program is really its emphasis on the experiential learning. So students engage in real world assignments, they participate in case competitions, and we also have a mandatory guaranteed full-time internship. So it is a 16-month program. The last 4 months of the program, you are spent working full-time for a tech company in various kind of industries or focus areas. It could be in marketing, it could be in banking, consulting, tech startups. It really is kind of up to you to select that path. But it really is great, especially for our international students who don't have any Canadian work experience, where you can say that you do have Canadian work experience now, even before you even graduate from the program. And this program is really designed specifically for people who want to lead in a tech-driven business world, which is kind of the world we're all living in now and where business is headed. And so, like I said, the curriculum emphasizes things like digital transformation, systems design, management in technology sectors, and integrating that innovation with sound business leadership. So for students who, like you, are interested in bridging business and tech, this program really equips them to become change agents. So it gives you the ability to understand that intersection of business strategy and technology for innovation. And that's really what our recruiters and the people who are employing our future students are looking for. Okay, and next is our MMAI program. So this is our Masters of Management in Artificial Intelligence, and this is one of our specialized master's programs that I was talking about. So this program is 12 months in length, so it's 1 year, it's full-time, and it begins every May. So as organizations increasingly adopt AI, so this can be in operations, customer service, analytics, automation, decision-making, anything you can think of, there really is that rising need for professionals who can manage these AI projects. So they don't want people who can just write code. And MMAI, this program really does deliver that hybrid of technical AI knowledge plus business management acumen. So the curriculum includes, of course, AI fundamentals, but also data science, predictive modeling, and there's also an AI consulting project where you are working with real world companies and clients. So students really do get to learn how to apply what they're learning and how to apply AI to organizational challenges. It is also recognized by the Vector Institute for Artificial Intelligence, and this is recognized for its delivery of industry relevant skills. So our graduates are prepared for roles like AI product managers, AI-enabled business consultants, strategy, operations lead. So anywhere where decision-making must integrate data or AI with business priorities is really where we're seeing our students land. And next is our Master of Business Analytics. So this is our MBAM program. This is another one of our specialized master's programs. So it's also 12 months in length, and it begins every May as well. And so with data becoming a core asset for businesses and companies across sectors, we really do need people who can turn big data into actionable insights. And that is why this program was built. So to really meet that demand. So the program does have a consulting project as well. So this is an analytics consulting project where students will work in teams to solve real business challenges for industry partners. So you will be working again with a real world company, and this gives you that practical experience for a strong way to be able to display to future employers that I've already done this in the real world and I can do it really well before I even graduate from the program. And that's really what the future employers that are recruiting from our students really do appreciate. This is also recognized by the Vector Institute for Artificial Intelligence, and that's also because of its delivery of industry relevant skills. So careers post MBAN span many, many industries. So finance, retail, healthcare, commerce, anything you can think of, because data analytics is not just for tech firms. It's really for data-driven decision-making, and that's really valuable everywhere. So these are the the requirements for all of our graduate programs that we offer. So I would encourage you to take a screenshot or a picture of this so you can focus on your particular program of interest. So it has all of the requirements in terms of what the application is going to be asking you of, and also for the academics. So you can take a screenshot of that. This is also all on our website. But I'm going to move on just to our next steps. So what you can do is you can scan this QR code and it will take you to our list of upcoming events, and you can register for these events through those links. So for example, if you're interested in the MMAI program, the specific recruiter for that program will have an info session where you're going to be doing a deep dive into all areas of the program, how to apply, tips and tricks, overview of the curriculum. So like I said, this is a very high level explanation of what we do here, but you can also do a deeper dive through that link. Okay, well, I'm not sure, Sabhat, if you want me to leave this on the screen or I can exit out of it.
You can exit out of it, Sarah. Thank you so much.
Great. Yes.
I'm sure most of you have taken a screenshot, but don't worry, we will also be sending you a WhatsApp with all of these details, so you're not going to be missing out on anything. But thank you, Sarah, so much for that informative session. As you can see, quite a few questions have already started coming in, but I'm going to request everyone to stick around till the end of the session. In the next session, in the next panel, we might have some of these questions answered. And for the rest of you, we will be taking up those questions at the end of the session. But before I jump into the panel discussion part of the session, I'm going to run my second poll question for the evening on the screen in front of you. What factor matters most to you when you're choosing a business school? Are you looking at strong industry connections? Are you looking at high return on investment and career outcomes? Are you looking at flexibility of the programs offered? Or are you looking at the campus environment and the student experience that the university has to offer? So very quickly on the screen in front of you, what factor matters the most to you when choosing a business school? If all of you could go and cast your votes and let us know, it will help us get an understanding at what exactly is it that you are looking at. Wow, we also have some questions coming from undergrad students. So they're thinking really ahead here, Sarah. They want to get prepped. They do not want to lose that seat at Schulich, I would say. So yes, Asan and a lot of others, we will be taking up all of those questions. But before that, if you could please go ahead and answer my poll question, which factor matters most to you when choosing a business school? So close to 100 of you have answered. I'm going to keep it running for a few more seconds before I go ahead and post the results. So great. With that, I'm going to end the poll and share the results. 62% of the audience are looking at high return on investment and career outcomes, followed by the rest. So thank you, everyone, for taking part in our poll question and for letting us know what exactly is it that you are looking for. Great. With that, I'm going to now move into the second portion of today's session, where I'm going to be doing a short panel with all of the panelists present here and asking them a few relevant questions, which I'm sure will be helpful to everyone present in the audience. So Ayomiko, I'm going to be starting with you. As an international student who moved into a leadership role in Canada's tech and business space, what parts of the tech MBA program that you did help you connect your past work experience with the opportunities that were available in the Canadian job market?
Thank you very much, Saba. So I will start by maybe reintroducing myself. So my name is Ayomiko, and I came into Canada in 2023 as an international student from Nigeria. And, just like what Sarah mentioned, we have about 51% of Schulich students being international students. So Schulich has a good experience when it comes to managing the expectation of international students. And I found it to, the moment I got into Schulich, it was more like they were ready for me. So they have all this wealth of resource that would really help you. One thing I found typical of a lot of international students is you come in with experience. So you have a lot of people with 10 years experience, 11 years experience, 5 years experience, and you're struggling to really step into the market and not lose the experience you've had, because you're like, I've done so much and I want to step into the industry and start to build on. And I found that Schulich has this department, CCD, we call it, the Center for Career Development. So they were actually able to help me, work on my resume, expose me to the expectation of the market, add some interview preparation, add some consulting. And, we have some industry experts, people who actually are active in the industry, who consult for the school also. So we had sessions. So, when I came in, I had different parts. I was like, okay, I want to go into consulting, I want to go into finance. So you can get to choose which of these parts you want to choose, and get a consultant to sit with you and engage with them to get insight, industry real-time insight on what you can do. They look at your resume, they look at everything. So I found that very helpful. Like that was like the first few months I got that help. And also I was able to add a lot of events that helped me meet real industry leaders to really understand what goes on in this space. Because you're coming in, there's always a cultural difference between where you're coming from and where you find yourself. And I was able to actually leverage a lot of those new relationship I was able to make through this event to understand what the expectations are and be able to tailor my story. Because at the end of the day, we're all telling stories, we're selling ourselves. So, and the way to actually get into any role is to be able to actually sell yourself. And with the resource from the CCD, from the industry leader I was able to meet, and being able to now work on my own story to say, yeah, this is what I've done, this is what I've. And one of the challenge I had initially was that I've worked with some very good organizations that are not so popular. Like they're popular in my country, they are very strong in my country, but they are not international brands. So you have to be able to actually be able to let people see beyond those things and be able to sell your story. So okay, I worked on this project that had this impact, that was able to do this. So it was majorly working on my story with the help of all the resource and the people I had that I would say really helped me to learn the culture of corporate Canada and be able to sell my story and land the role of choice.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much, Yomikum. That was really helpful. So, of course, you have all the resources with you once you get onto university. Just to sort of summarize, apart from your curricula, apart from your lectures, get in touch with the career development team. Make use of all of the resources that are available on campus to have you career ready. The minute you're done with your degree, you're stepping out into the job market. The job market is ready for you. You are ready for the job market. So, yes, the school does have a lot of resources that are available. The only thing that you need to do as a student is make sure that you're making use of all of them to be career ready. With that, Sarah, I'm going to bring you into the conversation. Quite a few questions have popped out around this also. So, for students looking at tech focused business degrees, what are the main differences between a tech MBA versus a traditional MBA? And what should students consider when they are sort of taking this decision of, oh, should I pursue a traditional MBA or am I someone who needs to go in for a tech MBA?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I mean, we get this question all the time because, like I said, this is the first and only one of its kind in Canada, being the Tech MBA. So I would say the really key difference is in the structure, but also obviously the focus. So the Tech MBA program is really specifically designed for students who want to work in the tech sector or lead tech-driven initiatives. And like I said before, every company now is a tech company, whether they like it or not. So I like to call this MBA kind of the modern MBA. So the curriculum is very tightly integrated. You, of course, still get those fundamentals of every single MBA program, that toolkit that an MBA will give you. But all the courses are very connected to themes like innovation, digital transformation, analytics, and product strategy. So it also includes that internship that I was speaking about before, and that's the tech consulting kind of aspect where you get that real world experience. So students get that hands-on industry experience through a couple of our consulting projects, but then also that internship. That's also woven into the program and the curriculum. Now, on the other hand, the traditional MBA, this is much more customizable, I would say, than the Tech MBA. So students can choose up to, like I said, we have different specializations, so up to 15 different specializations, one of them being digital transformation, but we also have ones that are very focused in supply chain management or finance and accounting and things like that. So it allows you to really customize the program and build an experience for whichever industry or function that you really want to do a deeper dive into. So it's ideal for someone who wants that more kind of broad business education, I would say, with that more flexibility to kind of pivot as your interests pivot.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sarah. That was very informative. So, of course, do your research, find out what works best for you, and choose the degree which you feel will be most relevant to your career path, your career goal, not just in the short term, but I would say in the long term as well. Great. With that, Ariba, I'm now going to bring you in. Uh, you did the MMAI program, which blends business and AI. How did Schulich help you build the technical skills and professional confidence needed to start a data focused role at a major Canadian bank where you're currently working at?
Thank you, Sabahat. I'll first start with a little bit on my background itself. So I do not come from from a technical background at all. I came from a very core business background. My undergrad was in accounting and finance. Then I worked in marketing and supply chain for a while before moving here. So I was just, as new as anyone else would be coming to a degree of that sort. But I would say that the focus of the MMAI program is not to make you a technical expert. Yes, it gives you the tools and skills and the path to do it, but the focus itself of the degree is not to make you a coder or a programmer. It gives you enough skills and resources and the courses, how the program is structured in a way that you can pick your stream, either a management slash business side of things or more technical side, and then you can spend more time on one or the other during the program. And also, of course, you have to do some sort of extra effort as well in terms of either picking an internship or involving yourself in volunteer experiences, which would give you more exposure on either one or the other side. So that's one thing. My current role itself is not technical. Like, I do not do hands-on technical work, but the data and AI role I have is more of sorts of an internal product management slash consultant role where I oversee the initiatives from a strategy and leadership perspective, because I work very closely with leadership. So that's and this is a stream that I was interested in. I did not want to. I very quickly realized during the program, just first semester in, that I would not be interested in, pursuing the technical stream. So I learned the concepts and everything. I do understand I can still do technical work. I choose not to. So I would say that whether you or not you pick whatever stream you pick, and if you, of course, end up in the program, do spend a good amount of time in understanding those concepts, because that is what's going to take you forward, even in the non-technical stream, if you pick that. And regarding landing the role, that there's one thing that I would just say to everybody out there is just to network, network, and network, because that's what helped me the most. And I was told, again, as my colleague mentioned here as well, I also went to the Career Development Center in the very initial months only, I think the first or second month. And there I was told how I need to network. And I followed their advice, and it did really work for me.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ariba. So, yes, like Ariba mentioned, there's always flexibility once you get into a program to sort of understand where your strengths are coming in from and then choose and sort of build on that. And of course, the second most important thing is your network truly is your network. So, yes, get in touch with the career services team once again. Make sure you're networking. Even currently, as a student, feel free, prospective student, feel free to reach out to people from the university, to alumni, through LinkedIn and, of course, official channels to make sure that you're already building your network. With that, Ayomi Kun, I'm coming back to you. So many international students, a couple of them even in the chat, have sort of mentioned that, hey, you know what, we want to combine business strategy with technology. So just from your experience, how did the tech MBA help you apply concepts like digital transformation and risk management in your workplace when you first started out, and even now, with over 10 years of work experience, how is this helping you in your day-to-day career?
Thank you very much. That very question, it reflects what Sarah also mentioned in that it's a fast-moving space. Like the whole world right now is in a place of anticipation, trying to see what exactly does the future hold. And it's, to a large extent, it's still very unclear what the future is. So everybody's kind of playing catch up, trying to say, okay, what's going on? What value will come with AI? Is AI a bubble? Would there be a value? So the way the approach of the Tech MBA to it is not to give you like a playbook, but to train you on how to actually identify trends and see how you can add value, to keep yourself up to date. And even the question from recruiters right now is no longer about what can you do, but do you have that skill? Do you have that experience to say, okay, how can you influence the direction of the company to say, okay, what should we do with our technology? How should we implement AI? What are the areas where are the value? Because the big question right now, even in the industries, what is the application of AI in everything we do? Though? Like, are we supposed to, replace people with AI? Are we supposed to work with AI? And so these are kind of like the questions that keeps coming up on everybody's mind. And, that's why, the question of strategy and technology, like what do we do with technology? Are we just deploying agents to keep working? Or are we saying, okay, what should we do? What would be the ethical questions we should ask? And these are the skills that uh, is very key in the industry and is one of the key issues that we're addressing in the Tech MBA program. We have classes on ethics and technology, realizing value from AI. We have strategic leadership. So these are part of the courses that we've had, which really helps us to look at what's going on in the world. It's more like case study based, where you look at what are the things happening right now. We look at the things happening in the news. We discuss them in the class, identify the trends. It's more like teaching you how to think about things, not necessarily about this is the playbook of how to run with this. And I find it very relevant to what I do today, because the question every leader in business is asking today is, what should we do? Like, what direction should we go? And these are the questions that we're learning to answer to say, okay, based on these facts, based on this happening here and there on different angles, how do we connect the dots on these different things and make a strategic decision to say, okay, this is the path forward. The business should approach this direction to stay competitive, to stay ahead of the market. And I think the Tech MBA program is actually well designed in this regard. My current employer, I met him during one of our early networking events, and the, the things we discussed then, and he's also one of our lecturers actually, and for me that's one like a big value to have somebody, a CTO of the largest retailer in Canada, to be one of our lecturers. The insight he has, having that privilege, coming into the organization and working with him now, I understand how much of a big deal he is, because he's a big fish, like he's really a big fish, and he's there in class, and we're able to actually understand why these big companies do what they do and why they're taking what decision. And I feel like these are the skills that differentiates the Tech MBA from most of the other programs. And the fact that we also get to have like experiential learning, where we get co-op, where you get integrated into the corporate workplace to actually, you still take classes so you can go back with your questions. It's designed to meet the industry need, and I feel like it's not up to you to extract the value. Just like what Ariba said, also you have to make a decision while you're in the program to extract the value out of it, to see how you can actually get the most out of it. But I will tell you, all those things are there to train you to be a manager, to give real impact.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So that was really helpful. Yes, of course, there's industry connects, there's experiential learning. It's more about making sure that you're equipped with the right tools before you enter the workplace, to make sure that, yes, you know exactly what is going on, because business and trends are constantly changing and evolving. So, Reba, I'm going to bring you in. For an international applicant who might not be from a purely technical background, what would you recommend they do? Are there any, let's say, courses or programs or anything that they should sort of take to feel confident in taking up these AI related roles in the job market?
I think it comes down to the basics. AI is more math related. If you're trying to understand the concepts, math and statistics, than computer science. So don't worry about that part. But just refreshing your math, calculus, statistics, that is, I think, really important. Besides that, what I did was, and I didn't even do this before starting the program, but first week of the program, I took like a short course on Python just to get started with understanding the jargon of related to Python, and understanding some different concepts that will help you understand the code. And I think that's pretty much it. But math and statistics is really important because that will help you really understand the concepts, and everything coding related and those kind of things you can just pick up on the go. That's not that much of a problem.
Great. Thank you so much. So, Ariba and Ayomikum have spoken a lot about the resources or the things that students need to do to be job ready. Sarah, I'm going to bring you in. A big question, and we even saw in the poll question that I ran that return on investment and careers is such a high priority for international students, right? So many students, of course, worry about finding jobs in Canada's tech industry. From your experience, which I know is diverse, what skills, qualities, or preparations should international students do when they're applying to the tech MBA program, or let's say the specialized master's programs at Schulich, to ensure that you are able to give them the right sort of guidance and tools that are required to make them job ready when they enter the market?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I mean, that's probably a top of mind for everyone. So there are kind of two components to that. So really, how do you kind of sell yourself in terms of coming into the program to get admissions into the program? But then after the program, how are you doing this to sell yourself to the job market? So I would say in terms of the admissions, I know there's probably a lot of questions in the chat right now in the Q&A section floating around of, I have this background, am I eligible? Or I have this, what can I do with this? And so I would say about 70% of our student population in the MBA programs and specialized master's programs come from non-business backgrounds. So you do not need to have a specific area of discipline from your undergraduate degree, so your bachelor's degree, to be admissible into our programs. For example, in the Tech MBA program, we have people from healthcare, we have people who have more kind of a sciences background, they may have a business background, we have people who have English language backgrounds. So you don't need to worry about kind of your previous education in terms of being admissible. What I would say is you really want to, first of all, do your research. So I have talked about 4 different programs today. Our alumni here are highlighting 2 very special ones that they've experienced, but making sure that you're also doing your own research to see which ones best align with your career goals. So it's not just thinking, okay, well, can I get into this program? It's which program is going to be right for me and actually align and help me achieve what I want to in the future. And that brings me back to the application process, because for all of our programs, you will be asked to speak about this specifically. So outside of the requirements in terms of your bachelor's degree, the work experience and things like that, we do have essays. And so they aren't actually essays, they're quite short, they're more statements of purpose. But the first one is really where you are connecting the dots for the admissions committee. And so this is where you're telling them why you should be in the program, and you're talking about your goals. So you're going to tell them about your short-term and your long-term career goals, and essentially how the program that you're applying for will help them achieve or help you achieve those goals. And so they are looking for that strong alignment. And I encourage you to be as detailed as possible. So we're not expecting everyone to know, okay, I want to be the director of this company doing this with this portfolio, but you should have a very strong idea of where you see yourself and how this program will give you those tools and that skill set to be able to see yourself there one day. So doing your research, because we do understand that this is probably not the only university you're applying to when you're thinking of coming to Canada. So we all have different offerings. We all have different curriculums, cultures, and seeing that we know that you're applying to different ones. We want to make sure that you are tailoring your content for your application specifically to the program and to the school that you're looking at. So making sure that each one of your essays for no matter what school you're applying to is a little bit different. And then I would say on the other hand, while you're in the program, I mean, we've already touched on this throughout the questions, but really leveraging those opportunities that are available to you. So on the kind of staff faculty side of the Schulich experience, we have made sure that every support is in place to support the success of our students, whether that be through accommodations, through career support, through academic support. We have advising, we have all of these different resources for anyone who has various needs. And so we do have people that come into the program and they don't take advantage of any of those things. And then they wonder why they're still searching for a job after they graduate. but they didn't network, they didn't attend events, they didn't go to their career advisor. So really making sure that you're taking advantage of everything that's happening, obviously in the classroom, but making sure that you're also being a well-rounded student outside of the classroom too is really important. And that's what I would say a lot of our employers are looking for.
Great, Sarah. Thank you so much. That really sums it up. But before I get done with all of my questions for today, there is one last question that I'm going to be asking each one of you to sort of answer before I let you go. So, what would be your one piece of advice to all these prospective students who are looking to apply as to what is it that they really need to do to make sure that they are getting the admit and are making most of their time at Schulich and thereby in their job roles later? Sarah, let's start with you.
Yeah, so I think my advice would be more kind of on the admissions side, because before you are looking for a job, you need to get here first and do the program. So I always encourage students to, and this sounds very obvious and kind of cliche, but really make sure that you are including very unique facets of yourself into the application, because we see thousands of applications all the time, and we want to have students who stand out. So yes, we understand that we do have the hard and fast requirements, like I said, of the degree and your grades, but what else makes you a unique person? So what do you do outside of work or outside of school in terms of, let's say, community work or volunteer work? Where do your values lie in terms of your extracurricular activities? And so those are really kind of standout factors that we're looking for, not only for admissions into the program, but also for scholarship consideration. So I know there's lots of questions about scholarships. I won't go into them too much, but all of our programs do have scholarships available, and they range based off of your profile. So no one will receive a full ride scholarship, so you should not be depending on the institution to fund your entire degree. You do need to make sure that you are researching other financial loans and support systems. But for our scholarships, we do look at your grades, your work experience, and then all of those things that you do outside. So like I said, the volunteer work and the community service. So making sure that you're including those little facets that make you stand out would be really important. Oh, you're just on mute.
Sorry, my bad. Ariba, if you would like to go next.
Yeah, sure. I would actually second what Sarah mentioned, that and just to briefly put it together, that just try to bring in your personality in the application in some way or the other, because that's what, shows through a piece of paper, or I mean through an essay or a video, that who you are as a person. I know we have a lot of AI resources now which we use to, to do all sorts of things, which is good. Use them, but do not forget to bring your own element to it, because those AI applications, there will be like, that hundreds of those as well. But what will make you stand out is the human and the person that you're bringing in that.
Great. Ayomiko, last words for you.
All right, thank you. So I would say for most people coming for an advanced degree, MBA or specialized master's degree, they either know exactly what they want out of the program, in that I know I want this job with this company. Or for some people, they are trying to maybe pivot or find out what exactly they want to do. But I would say whichever bucket you belong to, come in with an open mind. Be ready to explore even more opportunities than you might think, okay, this is exactly what I want. Because I find out that a lot of people towards the end of their program start to consider pivoting or start to consider other options. And you would have done so much better if you had kept your options, or at least your mind open from the start. You would have leveraged more resource, more opportunity from the very start, rather than waiting to towards the end of a program and then you feel like, oh, maybe I should have considered this, I could have done that. So I would say, no matter where you stand, whether you already know exactly what you want or you're still trying to pivot or figure out what you want, keep an open mind. Events will come from different industry areas. Meet people, network with them, understand what they do. You never can tell. There might be some roles that you might be a best fit for that might not necessarily fit into your bucket. So keep those options open and keep an open mind. Bring the best of yourself and be willing to learn from everybody, and you would be in a very good position. You're still muted. Okay.
Apologies, I don't know. There's something wrong with my system. Great. Thank you so much, all three of you. That was wonderful. I'm sure everyone in the audience has also benefited a lot from these questions. But now I'm going to start taking up questions from the Q&A box. Quite a few of those that have come in. And Ayomikum, I'm going to start off with you. There is a question which says, how competitive is it for international students to secure an internship or a job in Toronto's tech space as of today? And I think given that you are in the industry, you've been there for a while, let's hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah, okay. I was muted. So I'll
Sorry.
approach this from two angles. The first one is the tech MBA program itself has a mandatory internship component, which is like a big advantage for you if you're looking to get into the tech space. The fact that you get a placement, and that placement sometimes you have different opportunities brought to you from leading industrial companies and stuff that you can apply to. Some are specifically designed for the tech MBA program. So that's on one angle. But even if you go for a specialized program, I would say Canada is, or let me say Toronto is highly skilled. So it's very competitive. So you have to start early. And it's very, very important that you leverage on relationships, on connections. The school has this industry relationship. So you have a lot of career fairs, you have a lot of posts. We have a dedicated application where you can actually see a lot of postings that are being brought from different places that you can leverage on. So you need to start early. And even if you don't have a mandatory internship component of your program, try as much as possible to make sure you get an internship. It really gives you that advantage, especially as an international student. It gives you that Canadian experience that you can also put on your resume to give you a better stand and improve your chances. But I won't lie to you and say it's not very competitive. It's highly competitive. But then you have what can help you stand out that you can leverage on. So instead of looking at it from, oh, it's very difficult, look at, okay, you have the things you can leverage on to make you more competitive. And, like I said, it's about storytelling. So improve on how you tell your story and how you put yourself out there, and then it's work for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Charmi, we hope that answers your question. Really helps you get started on cracking that job offer. With that, Ariba, I'm going to bring you in. There's a question for you from Gargi who wants to know, how did you navigate through the cultural differences, and are there any campus student groups that are there on campus and really sort of help you with the transition as an international student that is coming in?
So yes, I think it was mentioned in Sarah's presentation as well that it's a very, very diverse community here in Toronto, and so is the campus as well. If you're coming in as an international student, you would not feel, lonely or left out or sort of alien in plain terms, that you don't know anyone from your culture, ethnicity, whatever it is, because I would say that largely the student body is comprised of international students. So that really helps. And regarding groups, yes, there are. I was part of these little communities that I'm from Pakistan, so there was a group of Pakistani students which was just formed by someone got to know me, and then they got to know someone else, and then a small group was formed, and then anyone from the similar background, they would just add to the group, and we would meet up often or something like that. And besides that, there are I wasn't living on campus, but if you live on campus, there are a lot of activities happening around the year uh, pertaining to international either festivals or also related to culture shows and all that. So those kind of events also can help you. But I would say that do not worry about this at all. You will feel home.
Great, thank you so much. So yes, there are quite a bit of student groups, and of course, there are other resources which are available for international students on campus. So don't worry, you're going to fit right in. And Gargi, we really hope that answers your question. Sarah, I'm going to bring you in now. Quite a few questions have come revolving around the same theme, and you had touched on this during your presentation, but very briefly, can you speak about how Schulich sort of integrates emerging technologies like AI, blockchain, data analytics into the programs, and whether students get an opportunity to apply these skills through live industry project, capstone projects, or hand-on learning experiences?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. And our students, or our alumni here, sorry, can definitely attest to their experiences with that in their various programs. But as I mentioned, we have the very first MBA in technology leadership in Canada. We were also the first school to have the business analytics degree. So we are kind of the leaders in that technology focused implementation into education. So what we try to do with every program is really weave in these new trends in the way in which business is moving. So we're seeing now that there is that very digital focus. So we want to make sure that our students have that relevant knowledge. So one particular area that we really do leverage is our advisory councils. So for example, the Tech MBA program has an advisory council that is made up of industry leaders. So we have presidents and CEOs and vice presidents of top tech companies from all over, and they are the people who really do influence the curriculum. So they meet multiple times a year and they talk about what they're seeing in the industry and what their employees lack, let's say, in terms of being able to meet that demand of this new trend. And then we implement that into the curriculum. So for example, Aomi Khan, he was here for the very first class of the Tech MBA program,
Yes.
but the class right now, what they're learning is very different from what he was learning a couple of years ago, because everything is constantly evolving and changing. So making sure that we're really taking the advice that we hear from our advisory councils and implementing it into our curriculum is very important to make sure that you're very well prepared.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much. I hope that answers quite a few questions which came up around that same theme in the Q&A box and gives you a little bit of understanding. There is another question, quite a few questions actually. But Sarah, this is an important one that I'm going to take and I'm going to sort of club this up. One is, of course, what does Schulich require in terms of English language requirements? Are IELTS and TOEFL mandatory for international students, even if they come from an English learning background? And of course, what are the scholarship and funding opportunities available for international students looking to apply?
Of course, yes, very popular questions. So in terms of the English language requirement, the way that we do it here at Schulich is if you studied in English, so if the discipline and the medium of instruction of your degree program was in English, you do not need to submit an English language proficiency test. Typically, for international candidates, your transcripts will state on them that the medium of instruction was English, so we do not need any English language test from you. For those of you who have studied in a different language, so I know that, I don't know if we have anybody here, but typically in Latin America, South America, we do find that their medium of instruction is typically in Spanish or in Portuguese, so they would need to submit an IELTS or a TOEFL. But primarily for our Indian candidates, our Pakistani candidates, as well as our African candidates, more often than not, you are studying in English, so you wouldn't need to submit an English language test. And then in terms of scholarships, so we do take a very holistic approach to the scholarship consideration. So like I said before, we do look at everything in terms of your grades. We look at your work experience. We look at anything that you do outside of work and school. So I mentioned this before, but I'm going to hammer it home, making sure that you include everything and anything that you have done previously or currently doing in terms of any community leadership. I always use the example, if you help the little boy or girl down the road with their homework once a week, tell us. We want to know about that, because we do have scholarships where that's a requirement. They have to have community service. So making sure that you're including that. And of course, the strength of your overall profile will increase the amount of your scholarship. But like I said, none of the scholarships will cover full tuition. So making sure that you are exploring other funding sources. So we do work with different funding programs such as Empower and Prodigy Finance, which can all be found on our website, where a lot of our international students, they leverage those loan programs too.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sarah. I hope that answers quite a few questions which came in about the IELTS and TOEFL and also about the scholarship. Schulich is also part of the SEED Scholarship Fund, so you can get in touch with our team at SEED and we will be able to help you with that, or check out the details on our website, seedglobaleducation.com. Sarah, again, the next question is for you, because as you're aware, quite a few of these questions are now very admissions related. So someone has written and they've mentioned that they have a BTech degree with 5 years of work experience. They're considering doing an MBA in 2026. However, they have a gap year. So they want to understand better as to what are their chances of getting an admit, and also in that case, should they take a GMAT? What should the ideal score be? Basically, how do they sort of make sure that this gap year does not create a hurdle in their admission process?
So that is a good question in terms of a very specific case, but a gap year is not something that is really of concern to us. So as I mentioned before, we do have essays, and that first one that I was speaking about talks about your alignment, but we do have a second essay that is optional. And when I say that, I mean it. You don't get points or lose points for using it, but more often than not, the people who do use it to explain anything that they don't want the admissions committee to assume about them. So this would be a great opportunity for you to leverage that essay in terms of talking about your gap year. Why did you take the gap year? What did you do during that time? Did you take any courses, or did you do community service and things like that? So they may ask what you did during that year, but that wouldn't affect your candidacy in terms of your grades or the work experience requirements.
Great, thank you. I hope that answers your question. So give it your best shot. Do everything that you need to do. There is another question here, Sarah, about someone who wants to know whether Schulich accepts credit transfer programs from other diplomas or degree programs from other international universities.
So this is done on a case-by-case basis. We do have an assessment team that does do the transcript translation. So all we need is your transcripts, and then we assess them based off of the specific courses that you've completed, as well as into our grading system. I will say it is very uncommon for us to allow a kind of a credit from an international university to come into one of our MBA programs or our specialized master's programs, because the curriculums are so different. So typically when you are granted, let's say, a waiver with replacement or a waiver for a course, it's because the curriculums very closely overlap, where we don't really find that with international credits. But I mean, like I said, it's a case-by-case basis, so we can definitely look into that once you submit your application.
Great, thank you so much, Sarah. And I know we've hit time, we've gone just 2 minutes over time, but my last question to you, Sarah, before I wrap up the session for today, once again, very quickly, if you could just speak about the major application requirements for international students and what should be their ideal GMAT or GRE score.
Yeah, great question. So for all of our programs, I mean, they all have different requirements, but typically the hard and fast ones are obviously an undergraduate degree. So we do look at your last 2 years of study to get your GPA. We are looking for around a B to a B+ average. If you don't have that, I wouldn't discount yourself because we do, like I said, take a holistic approach. So if you do have some stronger work experience, let's say, that can help balance out your grades. In terms of a GMAT or a GRE, the Tech MBA does not require a GMAT or a GRE. The regular MBA does, though. So I would definitely make sure that you are looking into any study courses that you can take when the GMAT is available, because you will need to be cognizant of the international application deadlines that we have for each of the programs, and making sure that you are writing it in time to be considered by the admissions committee. But really, the other requirements are more about, like I said, that your resume and how you stand out and what you do outside of school and outside of work.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sarah. I hope that answers your question. I know there are a few questions which we haven't taken up, but please feel free to reach out to the team at Schulich or to us at Seed Global Education, and we will connect you to the right people to get these answers. With that, thank you so much, Sarah, Ayomikum, and Ariba, for taking time out from your busy schedules and for being here on this wonderful session. I can truly say that I'm sure the students have had a great time given the number of questions that came in. And we still have around more than 200 students in the audience who are still waiting. I hope you also had a lovely time. And once again, thank you so much. And we look forward to connecting with you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Bye.
Bye.